Hello, wonderful viewers. We have quite an interesting question for you to aid you in your UTME JAMB preparation in physics, and it goes as follows. A fixed mass of hydrogen gas occupies a certain volume at 27 degrees Celsius. At what temperature in degrees Celsius will the volume double at constant pressure? It's quite an interesting one. And since the question said at constant pressure, it's obviously Charles' law. But there is a tricky thing here. They want the temperature in degrees Celsius. Though the examiner wants the temperature in degrees Celsius, does not mean you now disobey the Charles' law by not doing your calculations in Kelvin. So, what am I trying to say? That the question here said that your temperature must be in degrees Celsius does not mean you now leave your temperature in degrees Celsius and solve. No, you must still convert it to Kelvin, solve, after which your final answer, which you get in Kelvin, you still convert it back to degree Celsius. If you leave it in degrees Celsius and solve, I'm sorry, you get a wrong answer. So let's begin to respond to the question once again. A fixed mass of hydrogen gas occupies a certain volume. So let's say V1 occupies a certain volume. They did not mention it. Okay. And at T1, 27 degrees Celsius. So 27 degrees Celsius plus 273. So that will convert it to Kelvin. Will give us 300 Kelvin. Okay. At what temperature? So we are looking for T2. Will the volume double if V2 is 2 times V1, twice V1? That is what is meant by to double, okay? All right, if this is the case, it's very simple. So our Charles' law says V1 over T1 is equal to V2 over T2. So what do we do here? Since we are looking for T2, we'll make it subject of the formula. We'll cross multiply, make it subject of the formula. So if we do that, T2 will be equal to V2 times T1 over V1. Okay? So I will move over here. So our V2 here is 2V1, if you remember here. Okay? Then times our T1 is 300 over our V1 is just V1. They say a certain volume. So you see that the two V1s will cancel out. Okay, and 2 times 300 is 600 Kelvin. Okay, then this 600 Kelvin, converting it back to degrees Celsius would mean 600 minus 273. Remember, if you want to convert from degrees Celsius to Kelvin, you add 273. When you're doing it the other way around, you subtract. So if we do this, it will give us 327 degrees Celsius. It is this simple. Obviously, our answer is D. Okay? So remember to watch out. You must still convert your temperature to Kelvin because Charles' law is valid at absolute temperature or temperature in Kelvin. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.